B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. So welcome back. What if everything you're hearing about how to market to attract clients is wrong? No, seriously, wrong. That's what we're going to be tackling today on Amplify Your Marketing Message. And I am lit up about changing your thinking about marketing. And I can't wait to drive right into the deep end. I am your host here, Campbell Rapin. I am a business mentor. I work with people to figure out how to build that client growth engine. And what that engine really means is you making more impact, you serving more of your dream clients, and you feeling in flow with how you choose to grow your business. And I will tell you, one of the biggest things that started to happen when I was growing my business is people kept saying to me, I come to you for marketing. And I was like, really? That is totally fascinating because I am not a marketing mentor. I am a business strategy mentor. And yet, in order to see client conversion, which means you get more yeses, you have to know how to attract, how to identify, and how to connect with a potential buyer. And truthfully, it was always a surprise. And yet even my mother, who I talk with every week, would say to people, Christine's in marketing. And that's one of the reasons we are here on this podcast to talk about marketing, because if you want conversion, which is sales and revenue and profit, you have to have marketing right, but they are a different function. And so many people are struggling in the world of marketing because everything you're taught is wrong, like seriously wrong. And it's that bro marketing that is all focused around pain and shame and judgment. And so many of us go, I don't even want to play there. So please tell me, Christine, how to build my business without marketing. And you can't. But I will tell you, you do not need to buy into the bro marketing in order to see effectiveness. And in fact, I think that time and place has passed. And that's why so many people are struggling. So let's take a dive into a couple of things today. I want to talk about what is the traditional marketing that is fundamentally flawed. I want to give you an alternate way to think about marketing that feels more in alignment with who you are, how you want to build, and who you want to serve. And then I want to talk about 3 ways, particularly that you can reframe your mindset around marketing, your messaging around marketing to actually see more results. And I think getting on board with this is going to feel like a giant relief, and it will start to bring the fun back into your business marketing engine. So let's go straight in. I am so tired, and so are you, chances are, of hearing from people who will tell you that marketing is about talking to the pain. And that means coming at things where your number one focus as you're trying to figure out your avatar or your dream client, whatever word you'd like to use, is about identifying the pain. And that to communicate and call out the pain is going to be how you will create movement. Like, is it working for you? Like, I have never really seen this work. There's 2 reasons for that. If you are calling and describing the pain, one of 2 things is happening. Number 1 is I don't see myself in your story, so I am not a buyer for you. And yet you are telling me you have this problem, you're in pain, you've got to fix this. And I see this time and time again. And I actually get into this conversation an awful lot with people who are challenging, why do I do business differently? And tell me how, because I can't see any other way to go about this. Well, I will tell you, I said, if you are talking about the pain and you're in a convincing role with your marketing, you need a very, very, very long runway to see client growth. And if you have the patience and the bankroll for that, have at it. Most of my clients, myself included, do not have that luxury. So get out of convincing mode, because that's not your goal. Your goal is to attract the people who are ready to purchase. That is the buyer, that 3% of people who are ready to move immediately, and to nurture the other 97% to feel confidence when they're ready that you are the must hire to guide them to the result. So number one, the problem is that you are describing something that nobody is relating to because they're not your buyer and you're in convincing mode. That creates zero movement. And remember, folks, the whole goal of marketing is movement. Movement from curiosity to paid client, because you're looking for client conversion rate and a sale. So what happens if you are, in fact, identifying with that pain? Well, if I hear your story and I can personally relate to it, I am likely a possible buyer. That's great news, except for the fact that how you are coming at this as describing the pain is from a place of shame, judgment, criticism, and a really aggressive stance for, what the hell, folks? You need to buy my stuff to fix you. Okay, well, just think about that. That's actually what you're doing. And how does it feel if you are on the other side? Awful. It feels awful. None of us want to move because we felt shamed, judged, criticized, and that we are incapable of doing this, which is doing what? Getting the result we want. And what happens if we feel that way? Zero movement. So how is your sales going? Chances are pretty crappy. And that's because that is the bro marketing that we've been taught. We've been taught about feel the pain, embody the pain, judge the pain, talk about the pain, because that's the only way you're going to get movement. So cast your vision for just a second with me. What happens if that's not the only way? Are you thinking like me, like, thank God? Like, seriously, I don't want to do that. I don't want to come at a complete stranger in shame, judgment, and criticism, because I don't really stand for that as a business. I stand for hope, resolution, possibility, and getting the results. So maybe I need my marketing to sit in alignment with that. And that old style of marketing is still what you're hearing from gurus, from textbooks, from education, and I will tell you, from a lot of my peers. And so when people come to me and say, the reason I chose to work with you and I see you as marketing is because you don't sound like that and I want to play there. So let me show you the roadmap that I work with my clients on in the Business Scale Accelerator Mentorship and the group programs that are coming into the business. I want you to fundamentally rethink the role of marketing, because truthfully, marketing is not optional. If you want to see a consistent client growth engine, it is critical that you do two things, because two things drive your business, bottom line. You need to get in front of more people, more ways, more often, to be able to identify, segment, and pull towards you the buyers that see you as a credible source and the must-hire choice when they're ready to move forward with an investment. The second thing you need to do is make an offer that is focused on the results and the fact that you are the right person to guide them, the buyer, to getting that result predictably and in a shorter period of time with less resources. Because that's the only circumstances that you will face where it creates the buying opportunities for the investment to match, which means the yes happens. And I want you to say a heck of a lot more yeses in your business. So I want you to think about marketing not as a means to the end, i.e. conversion, but something else entirely. Are you ready for it? I want you to see marketing as a communication tool that creates conversation. Because conversation is the fastest path to cash. Even in the world where we see a huge expectation on the marketing thing that you need complication, big budgets, lots of tech, and a really advanced team in your back pocket, spoiler alert, you don't, that's an accelerator. But marketing as a whole piece of your strategy is about communicating and sparking conversation. And that's it. And you know that there are a lot of ways to do that. I don't care which lane you choose as tactics for marketing. You could be like me, who uses speaking and events and networking to drive my business, but you could choose other types of strategies as well. And if you're thinking, I don't know what strategies I want yet, here's just a short little insight here. On my website, ChristineCampbellRapin.com, I have a free download. It is 25 ways to attract an audience of buyers. Download it. Start brainstorming what feels like you, not where you're criticizing and judging, but when you're sparking curiosity and connecting through communication to have conversations. What feels like play or something fun for you? Because I think that that's an essential decision you make first before you will see success. So download that PDF. It's free. It's on the homepage. And from there, when you get it, I want you to pick a lane. 1, 2, or no more than 3 strategies that you will master to get into those communications that spark conversations. So I want you to rethink what marketing is about all entirely. It is nothing that you imagined. It's not that bro culture, that criticism and judgment. Instead, marketing is about connection. And how much more fun would your business be and your commitment to spending dollars on marketing feel? Pretty incredible, right? If you approach marketing in the same way you approach sales, which is about serving your ideal client to guide them to get predictable results, everything starts to feel less stressful. It starts to feel more like play. And when you're having fun in your business, guess what? Your energy is high, the right clients see you, and the right clients move away from you if you are not in the right place today. So the first thing I want you to reframe of 3, there's going to be 3 things I want you to reframe. I want you to be asking, when you are deciding to write content, no matter what lane it is you're delivering it in, how can I serve my ideal client or my potential prospect at the very highest level? What's the experience they need? What's their emotional state that they're in right now? How can I build certainty that I am, 1, a credible guide, and 2, the right person to hire to guide them specifically to the result because of something I uniquely have, my experience, my expertise, and my own lens in which I see the world. Because if you can spend time thinking about that, what you are asking yourself in very simple terms is, what do I stand for? That question is so simple, and so many of us avoid it because it means what? It means we need to own it. Own our own worth. And everyone I know, myself included, initially struggles with this. But that is actually one of the biggest things I work with my clients on, because I need you to know, who are you? What do you stand for? And how are you wanting to serve at the very highest level? And why are you the right person for the client you want to serve? Because the moment you do that, you start seeing not as your clients as someone you're hunting, not someone you're an adversary for, but in fact, somebody you are connecting at a personal level. Strangers who become friends are what you want in your business. Respect, integrity, and kindness are the foundations of which you want to grow from. So it starts with, who are you? What do you stand for? By asking yourself the question, how can I serve my clients and prospects at the very highest level, based on where they are at right now, in the dark, struggling, looking for a solution and a guide to get that solution predictably for less cost, resources, and stress. Because that's going to help you identify, why are you the must hire? And that's a key part of the marketing engine you need for you to see predictable results. The second thing I want you to think about when you're creating content and building messaging is that your goal is to build deep, rich, textured relationships, especially you service providers out there. And I will say, product guys, you can't forget about this too, because it is not enough. If you want an engine to build your business, it is not enough to have a single sale. Let me say that again. I want you to celebrate the first sale with the intention that it'll be one of many, and that you will create such value in the equation that this becomes a long-term relationship. And what that means is, remember, your first piece of marketing is the whole goal is to get in front of strangers to build trust. And trust means often relationships become deep, friendships form, and mutual respect for each other that allows you to have the tough conversations. Because without them, you are simply lost in the sea of infinite promises and zero results. And I don't want anybody listening to this podcast to be in that lane. Get out of it, please. If you need help, come find me. I want you to be intentional about intimacy. I want you to be intentional about understanding. And may have heard this on previous episodes with this podcast. I want you to tell the stories you're not prepared to tell. Why? Because it creates trust. It shows that you're not perfect. It shows that you are relatable. It shows that you're willing to have a much more deep relationship with somebody. And when somebody is needing a result that they have tried and tried and tried to get on their own, you can't stay at the surface. That's a volume equation, and nobody here gets volume without other things being in play. And in fact, that first prerequisite is a deep relationship. One of the things that's made me so successful in the world of business has always been my intention that I am going to celebrate the first sale with the intention that this will be a long-term relationship. I will ask myself before I make an offer, where will we be in 10 months, 10 years? And it doesn't mean that we're exchanging money in 10 years, but we're going to have a good respect for each other. We're going to still refer each other. We're still going to care about each other's journey. And if I don't feel that way, I never make the offer. Because number 2 thing I want you to reframe is that you need to see marketing not as a transaction, as a must-have, as an icky energy that you resent spending money on. And in fact, as the catalyst for a deep relationship. And again, why? Because the deep relationship means those conversations that are really, really deep. That will help you create new service offerings. That will help you create more profit in your business. That will help you accelerate the results your clients get. And what happens to that? A massive ripple. A ripple in revenue, referrals, and honestly, just feeling awesome about your own worth and value that says, I am worth this. I am the must hire. I lead intentionally my offers. It's an awesome place. And it begins by you committing to going into the deep end where your clients are. Without judgment, without shame, without criticism, but simply from a deep empathy of, I've been there. Or I accept you where you are. And I invite you to become more. And I can guide you to that journey. The third thing I want you to reframe is to think about, and this is at the heart of what will create the engine for your business. How do you provide value? How do you create quick wins? And most importantly, tangible results. Because you've heard me say this before, but just in case you need a reminder, you will not be hired because you're cute. You have an hourly rate that's cheap. And I will tell you, people do not want to pay for your time. Ever. What they want is to pay for the result. Quick wins, knowing that it's valuable to them. And that means you need to understand in a rich relationship how you can serve, because you know what they want and you know why you're the must hire to help them get there. The moment you start thinking about value instead of transactions, you start thinking about deep results instead of volume, you will start to scale. And there's a lot of energy that comes from you building momentum. And it is because the marketing engine is about movement. I want you to think about marketing not as a push, but a pull. You're pulling your ideal client, that 3% that hears you because you have not criticized, judged, and shamed somebody, but you've met somebody where they are because your goal is what? Communication that leads to a conversation. Conversations are your fastest path to cash. And they come from cash because you've already started to think about the 3 things you're reframing. How can I serve you and potential others like you at the very highest level, standing in my core values? Because I know what my worth is. Oh, I'm going to commit to building deep relationships, seeing them as long-term, not transactional. And I'm going to focus on the value at the other side. I'm going to focus on quick wins, and I'm going to get tangible results for you. And I'm going to remind you that results are small. 1% incremental built over time is the engine that creates what? A habit change. And when a habit change happens, your clients fall in love with you and they refer you and you feel playful in your business and you look at marketing and you go, I want to do more of this. I want to serve more. I want to create more. Why? Because it feels amazing as a human being to be of service. I want you to rethink what marketing is all about. I want you to embrace these 3 reframes. And if you need support to answer these questions, come and explore what we could do together. And if you're still thinking, I don't even know how I'm going to market, and you're back at that question, pick your lane. Download that free PDF, 25 Ways to Attract an Audience of Buyers. When you get it, I want you to pick 1, 2, or 3 and master them. Because no matter which tactic you choose, marketing is not a means to an end. It is an essential part of the client journey, and you get to choose how you do it. And I want to invite you, someone who's in my world, to show up with hope, possibility, connection as the currencies. Because if you do that, trust me, the right clients say yes. Predictably, quickly, and it feels awesome. So rethink how you're doing marketing. We'll see you on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.